Sign up on there if you would like to. Alright, looking at number 1 here. I got y equals negative 1/4 sine of 4 theta. Would I need to make a table on this one? No, because I'm not dealing with phase shift or vertical shift on this one, am I? No. Alright, so let's go through what we have here. What is my amplitude here, Derek? That is A, but what you got to do to A, take the what value? Take the, starts with absolute. Okay, and what's the absolute value of negative 1/4? You see that, bud? Okay. But some of us do need what I saw in the quiz. We're forgetting to reflect it. So some of you might need to circle that or something to help remind you to remember to go back. That you got to use that somehow. Okay. What's my formula for finding my period? B. Okay. What is my B? 4. Okay. So 2 pi divided by 4, which is pi over 2. Okay. There's no phase shift, there's no vertical shift, so there's no need for me to make a table. Okay. So I'm going to draw a graph. How do I find my x-coordinates? Take my pi over 2 and divide it by what? 4, and that will be pi over what? 8. Pi over 8, 2 pi over 8, 3 pi over 8, 4 pi over 8, 5 pi over 8, 6 pi over 8, 7 pi over 8, okay, this is dealing with sine, so I will start at my origin. Now remember, that negative is going to reflect it, so am I going to go, first off, the sine start at the origin or start at the amp? Origin. Okay. And normally it goes up here, but since it's reflecting, am I going to go up to 1/4 or negative 1/4? Negative 1/4. My domain would be all real numbers. My range would be negative 1/4 to 1/4 bracket. If you do not put bracket around that, I'm going to mark that wrong tomorrow, okay? It's bracket. Are there any questions on that first example? Alright, let's look at number 2. On number 2, would you need to make a table? Yes, you got a lot going on there, okay? Alright, so what is my amp there, Jesse? 2, and I found that by finding the absolute value of A. Alright. Now look at this. Is there a number sitting there? No, so do I need to factor this one? No. Alright, so my B values is understood 1 here. So my period is 2 pi divided by 1, which is 2 pi. What is your phase shift? Very good. What's your vertical shift? 2. Very good. Alright. I'm going to start that top column as if I was just graphing just the amp and period. Start at 0. I take my 2 pi. I divide by 4. I'm going to start with pi over 2, and I'm going to increase by pi over 2. There's no reflection here. Alright, so cosine, you start up at the amp. My amp is 2, so it'll be 0, 2. Now, I'm going to add the negative 2 pi over 3 to my phase shift. Help me out with this. We're going to try to do this quickly. 0 and negative 2 pi over 3 be negative 2 pi over 3. 1/2. Now, let's just remember, you do not know how to do this in your head, or you need to do it with the calculator, that's how you do this on the calculator. This is 1/2 plus, change it back to a fraction, so that's negative 1/6. So I would put negative pi over 6, very good. Here, 1 plus negative 2/3 gives me pi over 3. Pi over 6, then you just keep going. Alright, now, what do I do with my vertical shift? Add that to my what? And then I graph that bottom. Do I have to graph, or can we just look at the table? Because the main thing is just looking, making sure you graph it. Do I need to graph this one? Your domain will be what? Our numbers, your range will be? 0 to 4. Very good. Are there any questions? Yes.
Where did the origin point go?
That was a strange one. The origins, it is somewhere in between here, but it's just not one of your fixed points. But yeah. As long as you graph these points right here, and I can see that. All right. Let's look at number 3. Y equals negative 3 sine x minus 1. All right. What's my amplitude? 3. Let's circle this to remember. I'm going to have to do some kind of reflection. What's my b value here? 1. It's in front of that x, so 2 pi divided by 1 is 2 pi. Do I have a phase shift? No. That's not inside of parentheses, is it? That in fact is characterized as a vertical shift, negative 1. You see there's no phase shift. That would be in a parentheses. Now I will still make a table for this because it has a vertical shift. Alright. Take 2 pi, divide by 4, that's be pi over 2. Alright, for sine, do I start at my origin or start at my amp? Origin. Now, since this is reflecting, am I going to go up to 3 or down to negative 3? Mm-hmm. Zero, negative 3, 0, 3, 0, negative 3, 0, 3, 0. Now, I'm going to keep my x coordinates the same. Since I do not have phase shift, I'm going to add a negative 1 to my y coordinates. And I will graph that second line. My domain will be all real numbers. My range will be from negative 4 to 2. Do I need to graph that one? And you handle the reflection in that top row. Now the last one, I just want to do the table with this to make sure. What is wrong? First of all, what's your amp? What's wrong with this one right here? You got a factor out there 2. You got a couple like this tomorrow, so I'm going to take a 2 out. When I factor something, that means I'm dividing. So if I say 2 theta divided by 2, that leaves me a theta, don't it? What's pi divided by 2? I would leave what? Pi over 2. Do you see how that transforms to that? Okay, so your amp is 3/4. Your period would be 2 pi divided by 2, which is pi. Phase shift would be negative pi over 2, and there's no vertical shift. That's all I want to do with that one. And then you would go, of course, through your table from there. So what you're about to do now is you're going to do 2 problems. This is your checkpoint. When you get done with one, when you get done with both of them, bring them up here and let me look at them. If you already did this on during zero period on Friday, because I thought I was going to do this Friday, I have yours already graded. I'll call you up here in a minute when we look at it, okay? Just hold on to one of these right now. Bring the blank one back up here after you're done. After you're done, there's some problems on page 5 you can work on, okay? Yep, you just review for your test tomorrow. You will have your tree quiz before your test tomorrow. Tree review. Number 1 is a reflection, so be careful with that.